Hey friends, welcome to Everyday English. My name is Lisa and this is your easy listening English learning podcast that you can enjoy with your cup of coffee. My question for you today is, what do you do for work? This is probably one of the first questions you'll either ask or be asked when meeting someone for the first time. It's a go-to conversation starter because work is such a big part of our lives and something easy to talk about. What someone does for work can reveal a lot about their personality, interests, and lifestyle. So asking someone about their work can be a way to find common ground with them. In this episode, we'll cover broad themes around work and work life to help you navigate conversations about work with confidence and ease. We'll discuss common industries, occupations, types, and different ways of work. Let's start with this question. What industry do you work in? An industry is a broad category that includes many types of jobs that serve a common purpose or function in society. For example, there are a lot of different jobs in the healthcare industry, but they all have one thing in common: they help people stay healthy. When we talk about the healthcare industry, we think about curative health. Curative health is all about treating illness or injury following a diagnosis. The goal here is to cure or manage a condition. For example, doctors diagnose diseases, prescribe medication, and perform surgeries to help patients recover. A surgeon, a doctor specializing in surgery, performs operations to fix injuries or remove diseases like cancer. Nurses often work alongside doctors in hospitals, but you'll also find them in schools, clinics, and even visiting patients at home. Pharmacists work in pharmacies where they prepare and give out medicine that doctors prescribe. They also help patients understand how to use medications safely. Healthcare workers in curative health are focused on treating diseases and helping people manage existing health conditions. On the other hand, preventative health is about keeping people healthy before they get sick to prevent the onset of the disease. Jobs in this area focus on education, screenings, and promoting healthy lifestyles. For example, public health workers often focus on preventative health. They work on public health campaigns that educate communities about the importance of vaccinations, good nutrition, and regular exercise. Public health initiatives teach people how to make healthier life choices and warn people about the risks of smoking, alcohol, drugs, or poor diet. A nutritionist helps people plan healthy diets to achieve body composition goals such as weight loss and prevent diabetes or heart disease. Even fitness trainers can be part of preventative health because they help people stay active and adopt healthy behaviors that prevent many lifestyle diseases. So the healthcare industry includes jobs in curative health, that is treating diseases, and preventative health, meaning preventing diseases. Can you name any jobs in the health industry? Are they jobs in curative or preventative health? Technology or tech is another major industry. The tech industry creates and maintains the digital tools and systems we use every day. A software developer writes the code that runs websites, apps, and computer programs. Whether it's the app on your phone or the software on your computer, a developer has to build it using code. A web designer focuses on making websites look good and work well. They create the layout, colors, and buttons that make a website easy to navigate. Another tech job is the IT specialist, who helps companies set up and maintain their computer networks and solve technical problems such as network disruptions or security threats. Do you work in tech? I've always envied people who work in tech. Tech jobs always look and sound so cool. I imagine it would be really rewarding to use your skills to build things that are useful and potentially life-changing. Unfortunately, my education and training have never taken me anywhere remotely close to the tech industry. But one industry I have worked in for the last few years is the education industry. The education industry is made up of educators and support staff that run educational institutions such as schools, colleges, and universities. Teachers are a big part of this industry. They work in schools to teach subjects like maths, science, and English. Other educators include professors, who teach courses at universities and often do research in their own field. Universities often have tutors or other learning support staff who work one-on-one with students to help them with specific subjects. The education sector includes administrators, who perform administrative functions in schools and universities. They guide students through their academic careers from enrollment to graduation and ensure a good student experience. At universities, administrators may also help with research grants and other university initiatives. Do you work in education? As well as being a personal trainer, I work for a college teaching a fitness course to future trainers. In Australia, a vocational college sits below a university level qualification. Some jobs, such as personal trainers or fitness trainers, nurses, hairdressers, and the trades, including electricians, plumbers, and carpenters, only need a college level qualification, which is called a certificate. I love my job at the fitness college. There's nothing I enjoy more than working with and inspiring a love of learning in young people. Often they are working toward their first job out of school, so it's also a really exciting time in their lives. We also have the hospitality industry. The hospitality industry manages people's travel, dining, and recreational experiences. For example, hotel managers make sure hotels run smoothly, handling everything from bookings to guest services. Chefs work in restaurants and kitchens, cooking meals and managing the food prep process. You have waiters who take orders and serve food and drinks in restaurants, making sure guests have everything they need. Have you ever worked in the hospitality industry? It's pretty common to have a part-time job in hospitality when you're a student because you can work odd hours and nights. I remember a lot of my friends worked at bars and restaurants while we were at uni. Jobs can often be divided into two categories: white collar and blue collar. The term white collar was first used in the early 1900s to describe office workers who usually wore white button-up shirts as part of their professional attire. Back then, jobs in management, administration, finance, or law often took place in offices where workers were expected to dress neatly, and white shirts became a symbol of this type of work. These jobs didn't typically involve physical labor, but instead focused on paperwork, problem solving, and other types of knowledge-based tasks. For example, accountants help companies or individuals manage their finances and fulfill their tax obligations. Lawyers give legal advice, help people solve legal problems, and represent people in court. Office managers manage the day-to-day operations of an office, such as organizing diaries, ordering supplies, and general office maintenance. On the other hand, the term blue collar comes from the durable, dark-colored work clothes worn by laborers, particularly the blue denim shirts that many manual workers like mechanics, factory workers, and railroad employees wore. This clothing was practical because it could handle tough conditions and didn't show dirt easily. The term became associated with jobs that involve physical labor, manual handling, and operating machinery. These jobs are found in construction, manufacturing, or trades like plumbing and electrical work. Electricians install and repair electrical systems. For instance, they wire new houses or fix broken circuits. Plumbers work with pipes, installing or fixing systems that bring water to homes and businesses. They make sure we have running water and deal with issues like leaks or blocked drains. Construction workers, such as carpenters, bricklayers, and laborers, build things like houses, roads, and bridges, which make up our city infrastructure. Over time, these terms have stuck around to describe the difference between knowledge work, which we think of as white collar, and manual labor, which we describe as blue collar work. Though the lines between them can be a little blurry today, especially with the changes in the economy and technology, the distinction is still a useful way to categorize different types of work. In recent years, how we work has changed a lot with the rise of remote work. More people now work remotely, meaning they work away from their usual office or place of work. Workplaces have set up information technology systems to allow their employees to do their jobs from home or anywhere with an internet connection. Previously, most employers were reluctant to allow remote work. However, the pandemic has shown that workers can work productively from home and outside the office environment. Remote work cuts out the daily commute, which saves people both the time and cost of work travel. Over time, people have become accustomed to the flexibility and ease of remote work, and in response, employers have warmed to remote work practices. While remote work is becoming more common, employers have started to push back on full-time remote work arrangements, which were necessary during the pandemic. Employers see the benefits of working from the office. It drives social engagement between employees, which helps workers feel more connected to each other and the bigger vision of the business. The office is also a place for spontaneous conversations between colleagues, say in the lunchroom or on a coffee run, which often promotes innovation and collaboration across the business. These conversations can't take place when working in a completely remote environment. Where we've landed is somewhere in the middle, with a hybrid arrangement that includes a mix of remote and in-office days. Some employers now allow people to work a few days from home and the remaining days in the office. This has been a good compromise between flexible work arrangements and the broader business interests. Do you work remotely or in person? What is your work from home arrangement if you do remote work? Do you work entirely from home or only a few days? Whether you can work remotely depends on the nature of your work. For example, customer service agents can work remotely by helping customers over the phone or through online chat. They don't need to be in an office to answer questions or solve problems. They don't take face-to-face meetings with customers, clients, or stakeholders. Another job that's perfect for remote work is graphic design. Graphic designers create visuals like logos, websites, and advertisements, and they can do all this from their computers anywhere. Software engineers often work remotely too. They write and test code that makes apps and websites run, and since it's all done on a computer, they can work from home just as easily as from an office. In some roles, people may work remotely with the occasional office day or take any face-to-face meetings with clients. Of course, not all jobs can be done remotely. Some require you to be in person. Take teachers in schools, for example. While some teaching can happen online, most teaching occurs in classrooms at schools and university campuses. Health professionals, such as doctors and nurses, also need to be in person to care for patients in hospitals and clinics. Those working in trades, such as plumbers, electricians, or carpenters, need to build or repair things on site. These type of jobs rely on face-to-face interaction or using equipment that can't be moved online. Finally, there are jobs, whether in person, remote, or a hybrid of the two, which involve a lot of travel. People in these jobs, such as sales representatives, flight attendants, journalists, travel frequently for work. Some people love the idea of traveling for work. They get the opportunity to travel to new and exciting places and may be lucky enough to find some travel time at these work locations. A single person who loves being on the move constantly might find this an ideal lifestyle. But someone more settled with partner or kids might find it challenging to be away frequently for long periods. Traveling for work also has its unglamorous sides. There's the fatigue from long periods in transit, being away from the creature comforts of home, and while you may be in exotic locations, you might only have time for work and nothing else. For example, flight attendants spend their work days and work nights flying from one city to another. While on board, their duties include ensuring the safety and comfort of passengers, handling emergencies, and serving food and drinks. A flight attendant might start their day in one country and finish it on the other side of the world. But this jet-setting lifestyle also comes with long layovers, unpredictable schedules, and time zone changes that can be hard to adjust to. Typically, flight attendants work 12 to 14 days a month and have between 12 and 18 days off per month. Over the year, they average about 156 days off. For comparison, the average office worker has 96 days off and works 8-hour days. Of course, days off are not necessarily at home, but many flight attendants use these days as mini vacations. Another travel-heavy job is a business consultant. Business consultants travel to companies and their clients to offer advice on improving operations, cutting costs, or solving other business problems. Depending on their client base, a business consultant may take regular domestic or international trips to different cities to visit their clients. While business consultants can engage their clients remotely, there remains a need for in-person meetings to assist with major projects and foster business relationships. Again, while the travel may be exciting, it also means a lot of time spent on the road and in hotels, away from family and friends. Friends, I want to keep this conversation going as always. Let me know in the comments below your answers to the following questions. What do you do for work? What industry do you work in? Is your job considered blue collar or white collar? Do you work remotely or in person? Do you travel for work? I look forward to reading your responses. Let me know if you have ideas for a new episode. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one.